or not off. I'm going to turn my ringer off.
And we really appreciate One Tom Plumber and their sponsorship of KRIM and our Community Spotlight program. Good morning, Rim Country. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. A little chilly out there, but that is how it's going to be. Looks like for at least a week here. A little cooler weather. I personally like it. It feels great. The wind, not so much. So wind, hey, if you can calm down a little bit, then I think it'll make a lot of us real happy. Well, this morning we are going to be talking about the Payson Unified School District. In the studio to share is Superintendent Linda Gibson. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning. And you're the perfect spot to be able to really see how beautiful it is outside.
I know.
It is gorgeous. Yes.
I know all these windows. It looks great, and you can watch our Community Spotlight program on our KRIM Radio Facebook page. So please, if you're listening on the radio, hey, jump on Facebook or our YouTube channel as well. That's KRIM 96.3 FM, and you can watch our program every weekday morning. Yes, the windows, beautiful as far as scenery, but I tell you what, it is cooler in this room.
Oh, yeah, I've got a little bit.
Yeah, so especially when the wind kicks up,
yes.
It is cooler because next door we have the Cuts Etc., the salon, and I'll go over and the ladies over there are like, oh, it's a little warm over here. I'm like, come over in this office. It's not warm. It's
just
cool.
Change your proximity, right?
Yeah.
And isn't that the story of life? Change your proximity, and you can most often have a totally different perception or perspective going on.
I think of a song, a little bit of a parrot head. Changes in attitude, changes in latitude.
Right? Yes.
So
Yes.
look at that, you know,
Yes.
it's so
Yes.
true. So I go back into the little office back here. It's a
Now
little
here.
warmer.
Yes,
So
yes.
again,
Yeah.
appreciate you coming
Thank
in.
you for having me.
Oh, I appreciate
Always.
everyone that comes in, the different faculty
Mm-hmm.
and principals, everyone that comes in. It's always great to hear from them, and it's always so positive, and there's so much enthusiasm around what's happening in Payson Unified School District. And it's great, I think, for the community to hear that,
Yes.
and for residents to hear
Yes.
that. Because some of them might not have exposure to children. We still have one left in high school, so, and live streaming sporting events.
And hopefully grandchildren coming through.
Grandchildren,
Yes,
they're
getting there, right? They're gonna get there.
4 years old, so
Yes,
yes,
yeah,
that's
kindergarten,
right. Oh
Coming
my
around the
gosh,
corner.
yes.
We love being able to create a diverse at the beginning of the school year with KRIM in terms of having multiple people coming in and slots to share different perspectives, different departments, different events that are going on within PUSD, and truly in the effort to showcase and to share and to really ask the community, if you have questions, you have concerns, please come ask. We want to be that transparent, open door. Let us answer your questions. We may not be able to answer questions right off the cuff. We may need a little time to make sure that we have all the information to give you a very deep, thoughtful response in the sense of facts backed by data. And that's very important to us. We talk about that regularly. What is transparent education? What is transparent PUSD? How do we build those connections within our community so that we, in hopes, our long-term goal is building trust in what we do and how we care for children from preschool through seniors and beyond, because they do come back in terms of sharing what they're doing in their future. And it's such a delight to see students coming back and sharing about what connections they made while in PUSD and how it's impacted their lives in their future and their families.
And I want to point out that not only do we have the Payson Unified School District in on our Community Spotlight program once a month, but also the second and fourth Friday of every month, we have our Longhorn Spotlight program.
Yes.
And Ginger Liddell
Yes.
has graciously, volunteered to set up and schedule different CTE programs, sports programs to come in and share. Last Friday, we had on our girls and boys
Yes.
basketball teams, some of the members of those teams. They did a great job. You want to, see an example of our youth, how they present themselves, how they speak, how they interact with people. Watch some of those programs, and all of the youth that we have on the program just have done a phenomenal job.
Yes.
And it's a real testimony to, number one, their parents.
Yes.
Or the adults that are in their
Absolutely.
home. Also to the teachers, to staff at the school, to coaches, to everyone,
Right.
pastors, whoever in the community is putting into and speaking into these young people's lives. Our young people are amazing.
They are,
They're
and they
amazing.
speak so much more volume and have so much more value when you can hear it directly from them than us speaking for them or of them. There's two showcases that we will have at the next school board meeting on January 27th that our young people, we're just in awe of. One of them is Madison Plant, and I won't spoil it but the award that she's won in a Veterans Heritage Essay Contest, huge scholarship, and a national finalist within Payson Unified School District. She's a student at Payson High School. And then our RCMS very young speech and debate team. I say very young because young in age, and also, if I'm not mistaken, it's the first time they've competed outside of our community here and walked away with first place awards with not coaches, but judges sharing back with one team that these individuals were so dynamic and stood out significantly from other students, and they were competing with students at very large schools, smaller schools, a very diverse population. So when we think of, sometimes we nitpick about Payson, and what I mean by that is if we don't get a chance to branch out to see what's really happening in other school districts, we don't realize how good we really are in Payson Unified School District. But when you step out and you look at other school districts or things that are happening or what students are doing, it's a wow factor when we come back to Payson with what our students are accomplishing and the outcomes that are occurring. It's showcased within their actions, but also accountability measures with the state, with our school letter grades and the growth that we've had over the last couple of years, and moving what we are striving for is to be considered an A district. We're currently a B district with 2 schools that are scored as Bs and 1 school that is scored as an A currently. However, one of our schools, Julia Randall Elementary School, that is a B school, it had huge strides from moving from a C school to a very high B with our student data from last spring. It is just shy, or just over, 2 points of being considered on the state's accountability measures as an A school. And we look forward to that continuous growth and within all of our students and within our school settings. Another aspect that is huge is the A+ School of Excellence Award that the high school recently was awarded. I'm super excited to say that we are a finalist for RCMS in that same award. And that award is coming from an outside entity, the Arizona Educational Foundation. I had to write it down so I can say it correctly and do it justice. That has been around since 1983, taking the standards and aspects of public education and looking at recognizing educational excellence in programs across the state of Arizona. We're having a visitation, RCMS has a visitation happening January 27th and 28th. And the beautiful thing is that they're going to have the ability to show their true selves, their true authenticity. It is not a dog and pony show, a 2-day. It is about people coming in to verify what's been said, what's written, what does the data show, and do they see that on a regular basis? And I can tell you across our school district, it's about them truly caring and the authenticity that what's said or what's on paper when we showcase is what you will see when you walk through the doors.
Truly caring. When
Yes.
you said that, I think of the impact and seeing the impact that that has on our young people, on our students, our athletes. When they know that they're cared about, then they will respond. That
Yes.
is incredible encouragement, motivation for them. And just an example, in different areas, so looking at our fall sports schedule, every team in our fall sports program made it into the playoffs.
Yes.
That's quite an accomplishment. Ryan Sherling, athletic director, he cares about
Yes.
all of the programs, all of the coaches care about their teams, their players. And it shows because they're the results.
Yes.
Also, then I think back to in a CTE program, this just blows my mind, and I can't talk enough about this person. I will always rave about this person, Kate Hughes. She is a national Skills USA leader. That Skills USA program, over 400,000 members. 400,000 members across the entire country, every state, and she was selected, she was voted by her peers as a Region 5 Vice President, but a national representative from here in Payson.
Yes.
From here in Payson,
Yes.
not in the Valley, not in
So
Phoenix.
she misses classes to go to other states to plan national conventions that she is a part of helping to coordinate and talk about, learning opportunities to have that for students. And again, sometimes we think that's why, we think, oh, it's just Payson. No, it's not just Payson. It is Payson.
Yeah.
And we have amazing things going on.
Yeah.
And we're not this rural community that is just kind of, it's okay. No, it's not okay. We are extremely good, and we are moving to greatness, and the momentum is there across the board in all programs and all school grade levels. From preschool, from our 3-year-olds, all the way to our seniors, regardless of learning capabilities or disabilities or gen ed students, it's across the board completely.
Yeah, and talk about an inspiration. So Chris Harold, the instructor for construction technologies, a big part of this, and obviously Kate's parents and her support system and everyone that, encourages her. And now she is such an inspiration for other students.
Yes.
And they see that anything's possible.
Yes.
That was her goal from when she was probably, I think, in middle school, 8th grade, but definitely in 9th grade, she got, onto the Skills USA, I think on a state level. So this has been her goal, and she's seen it come to fruition.
Yes.
And that is truly an inspiration for every student that are sports teams. There's no reason why they can't be state champions. It's a little town of Payson. You're just a small little school.
It's
You
not
can't
that
achieve
way.
that. It's not
No,
that way.
it's not that way.
Any of the CTE programs, FFA, culinary, they can be top performers in
And they are.
those
We have
areas.
national recognitions in a lot in coming out of our high school programs.
Yeah, it's great.
One I do want to share that popped into my mind as you were sharing that, which even wasn't even on my radar to share, but it's worthy of. We have a student at the high school who was doing an internship at a local business and has done such a phenomenal job with that this employer actually said to me one time, I would hire Payson High School students over many adults that I see coming in for employment, because the work ethic is there and the desire to want to work, not only the soft skills, but also the skills or the trainability of a student. And I thought that was extremely profound. And that's not you know, there's been some experiences or some observations, but this one, Mr. Young Plain, his mother's also a teacher in our school district as well. He has built that impression for not only knowing his work ethic, but an impression of Payson High School students as well. So what one does also showcases so many others. And that's the one thing I think we forget, is that we become role models, that somebody is always watching regardless of age. And what are they seeing in terms of, if they look up to us, or if they're in a setting, for example, a work environment, what picture is that painting for a bigger entity? And whether we like it or not, that is always happening across the board, everywhere we go. How we carry ourselves in Walmart, how we, you know, meet and greet somebody through the drive-thru at Walgreens. And those pieces matter, even if somebody doesn't know our name. And that's students all the way through to adults within across our community. So we're super excited about that. The new year is bringing a lot of hope and optimism within what we can do, what we will do for the good of students, and really tying it back to our mission, wanting our students to excel in life with their strengths, and building communities around them to help them be supported to be able to continue to move forward.
That is good. I think of, you know, and people, if you're just tuning in or you've been listening, watching, again, talking with Superintendent, Payson Unified School District Superintendent Linda Gibson, and you might think, oh boy, what a big love fest, what a big, you know, you know, they're so great, our kids, you know, the kids are so great, and they are. And one of the things that, you know, I think about is excellence.
Yes.
You know, that's a big part, striving for excellence. But to obtain that, you need accountability.
Yes.
And with accountability, you recognize that we all make mistakes.
Absolutely.
We make mistakes, and that we can always do things better.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
you're always looking to improve on how you do things. And in having a true desire to do that, then you're going to welcome some counsel, criticism, advice, whatever it is, where people, you know, say, hey, well, why is it done this way? Or why is it like this? And, hey, well, here you go, this is why. And then, you know, to have those conversations. So going back to the beginning, I guess, is communication. And when you said, hey, we welcome and we want to be transparent, and we welcome communication. We welcome the questions, you know, why, the whys, you know, and why is it this way? Because if you're honestly striving for excellence and want the best, then you're going to be continually changing.
Right. Feedback is crucial.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of work, a lot of conversations in the district about feedback and how do we receive that, and how do we look to change ourselves and communicate so that we can build that trust. And if we can't self-reflect, then we're not teaching students how to self-reflect. And we can't change people. We can't change their perspective. We can change what we do when we hear feedback of, okay, well, if you communicate a little bit differently this way, this would help here. Okay, it's not about them changing, it's about us changing, so that for the good of the whole, to build trust and better communication. Because we can't control anybody else but ourselves. And sometimes it's hard to get feedback and not be defensive. I mean, I know I can feel it sometimes. I'm like, oh, okay, let me just take that and really work hard to have an open mind and be intentional about that. And again, we have those conversations amongst our leadership team constantly of how to go, this isn't personal, this isn't about you, this is about how can we make this better within the realm that we have and the parameters that we have. And we can always do better at that, right? Even in our personal relationships of how we communicate.
definitely.
within that. And that excelling piece in the sense of whether you want to call it customer service or how do we return phone calls. And I know generally speaking, you know, we've kind of stepped away from in society that personal connection, like you and I sitting here together having a conversation. We probably could do this remote, but there's something about having that face-to-face or that phone call conversation rather than just a text message or an email, and the power behind that. And most of the time, I know even for myself, sometimes I just want to be heard rather than something fixed. And taking the time to listen and process that information, even if we can't do anything about it. But that is powerful in building those connections within our community, with our students, with our parents, with our faculty and staff, with our business owners and everything. And I'd be remiss to say, and I know you keep track of our time when we're on here, but we are very pleased and we are very thankful for the board members that we have and those who ran for election for Payson Unified School District Governing Board. We welcome 2 new board members. Lori Vanover is new to being a school board member, and we welcome back Joanne Conlon, who was a school board member in previous years and was voted back in by the public. We also, on January 6th, the first initial 2025 board meeting took place, and the board elects a new board president and vice president. So our new board president is Katie Taylor, and vice president will be Joanne Conlon for the 2025 school year, or 2025 calendar year, excuse me. Within that, it's the 5-member board, and we also have Susan Ward, Audrey Hogue, hold on, who am I missing? Susan Ward, Audrey Hogue, Katie Taylor, Joanne Conlon, oh my gosh, Linda, who did I miss? And Lori Vanover, new, sorry, I have to, I'm thinking of where they sit and we all kind of changed seats a little bit, so I apologize for that. They all are extremely thoughtful women and community members, and they have it's a diverse, thoughtful group that I believe truly critically thinks and has good judgment for the sake of the goals that we have for Payson Unified School District and student academic success being the #1 priority amongst all of us. So I look forward to working with them collectively as a board and individually this 2025 year.
It is a very diverse group, and that's
It is.
good.
It is very good.
Because you have a couple parents, you have a former educator,
Yes.
you have some that have been in the community for a long time, some for a decent amount of time, some that are newer to the community. So it is very, very diverse, but as you stated, all of them, I feel, really care about education.
Absolutely.
And care about the students and the youth in our community.
I have no doubt of that whatsoever. And it's very, creates a lot of optimism. And again, I can't stress that trust word, like from those various levels, board, superintendent, employees, families, students, community, business owners. That's the core of what is important to us, so that we can all do our best and give benefits of the doubt and have open doors to ask questions, to alleviate assumptions or miscommunication or rumors, and really be able to move forward when we are able to have those types of dialogues amongst those variety of groups. So community-wise, when we say boards, our board calendar meetings are on our website. Our next upcoming school board meeting is January 27th. They generally start at 4:45. Very rarely do we change that time unless there's an outlying circumstance. They are held at the what many may still refer to the Rock Building, which is down by Green Valley Park, very adjacent to Julia Randall Elementary School boardroom. And we welcome the community to participate, to be present in those meetings. If there's information you want to share to the board, or questions you want to ask, or something you want to say, you can always complete a call to public and speak to the board and have that opportunity as a community member as well. And you can find that information on our website, as that is posted there for all of our meetings, and you can see the upcoming meeting calendars as well. We will be moving into budgeting season, which is just that time of year for the next school year, 25-26. And within that, if wanting to know information about how that really works, public school finance is extremely complex. That is not an excuse, that's a fact in terms of explaining it to the general public. And but again, Audra Bailey, who is our Director of Business Services. We have an Audra and an Audrey, and we constantly are doing this, calling each one.
Yeah.
But Audra Bailey welcomes your financial questions as well. She's very well versed. She is very detailed, and she's very thorough in the data, in the why, and the state statutes, and things that back the reasons of why we do things the way we do. We don't get zero auditing measures or awards, high-level finance awards, because of, I don't know what's the word I'm thinking of. We get those awards because of the caliber and the skill set that we've had within our business finance of the individuals. So please reach out, and we're happy to share information at any time with you.
There you go, and the website is pusd10.org. I'm looking at the site right now. I love the video that's on
Yes,
there
our
at the
website
very
is
beginning.
pretty phenomenal. New to this school year. Thank you to Razor Thin Media on that, and the hard work that they put in, and meeting the criteria of a very complex website. It's a beautiful website, and I too love the videos where it's not just static pictures going through when you first go to the websites and everything there.
And you can watch the school board meetings live also.
You can listen. We don't have a camera in there.
Okay.
They are held on Google Meets.
Okay.
So yes, you can listen in.
Okay.
We do not have the capacity in our boardroom right now with cameras to broadcast it live. But I foresee that coming back up as another conversation with the board in the future of how we can do that, because that has been something that's been requested. How come we can't watch it live? You can come watch it live in person, but you can listen to it live, and at the same time, even if you wanted to do a call to public, that would be okay if it was remote as well, and we can make sure that your voice is heard.
Gotcha. There we go. Well, anything, that's, goodness, 10:29.
You know what, it's great, as Don Heiser tagged many, many years ago, it is great to be a Longhorn.
There we go.
It is great to be one single team, and I truly believe the school district and our schools are the hub of our community, and we welcome our community to continue and are thankful for our community of being such a supporting part of helping raise kids in the world that we live in. So
There
thank
you
you.
go. And a way that you can support Payson students, high school students, this evening is come out to the
Yes,
basketball game.
games tonight.
Yep, Northwest Christian coming to town. First game at 4:30. Then our varsity girls, they play at 6 in the Dome.
Yes.
And then the boys at 7:30 in the Dome. If you can't make it out, or if you have family, friends that are outside the area, tell them they can watch it on the KRIM Radio Facebook page, or also on our YouTube channel. Again, that's KRIM 96.3 FM. And also want to congratulate our wrestlers. Last night, they wrestled against Seton Catholic Preparatory and ALS Mason North, and were victorious against both those other teams. So congratulations to them, and next Wednesday, is the next wrestling meet, and again, you can watch that live right here on KRIM.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you for everything you're doing, and everyone in Payson Unified
It's
School
my
District.
honor and my pleasure, thank you.
There we go. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching today. Also want to thank again One Tom Plumber for their sponsorship of our Community Spotlight program. Well, everyone, time to get back to the music here on KRIM with some Leonard Skinner, The Who, Cheap Trick, and more. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service.
With this morning's KRIM weather forecast for Payson and surrounding areas on noon.
All right, see you guys.